Welcome to this video on the measurement postulate, decoding the probabilistic nature of quantum reality and introducing fundamental quantum observables. We begin with part 1, the classical contrast, examining how measurement differs fundamentally between classical and quantum mechanics. In classical measurement, outcomes are deterministic. The state, such as position and momentum, is well defined, and measurement simply reveals this pre-existing value. This is considered passive observation, where the act of observing does not disturb the underlying state. The quantum departure involves inherent randomness. Measurement is an active intervention that forces a choice among outcomes and fundamentally alters the system's state. This is known as wave collapse, the transition from a superposition of many possibilities to a certainty of one. Moving to part 2, observables and operators. We will explore the mathematical structure behind measurable quantities in quantum mechanics. An observable is any measurable physical quantity, like position or energy. In mathematics, every observable is represented by a linear Hermitian operator, acting on a Hilbert space. Hermitian operators are essential because they guarantee real eigenvalues, ensuring physical measurements are real numbers. Their eigenstates also form a complete basis, allowing any quantum state to be expressed as a combination of them. Nikola Tesla said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. This provides a contextual understanding of key observables. When measuring an observable, the only possible results are the eigenvalues, or A sub n, of the corresponding operator. Nature restricts the possible outcomes to this specific set of values. Part 3 covers superposition and expansion, focusing on how a quantum state is described before measurement. A quantum state is typically a linear combination, a soup of potential outcomes. The expansion theorem allows us to write any state as a weighted sum of the eigenstates associated with the observable being measured. The weights in this sum are probability amplitudes, denoted as C sub n. These complex numbers carry the information about the likelihood of each outcome, bridging the abstract state with measurable probability. The expansion formula shows the total quantum state, psi, as a sum of coefficients, C sub n, weighted by the specific eigenstates, psi sub n. The Bohr rule is the bridge from the abstract to the physical world. It states that the probability of measuring a result is equal to the absolute square of its amplitude, C sub n squared. The principle of normalization requires that the sum of all possible probabilities must equal 100% or 1.0. This guarantees that if a measurement is performed, some result must be found. Next, we examine part 4, the act of measurement, detailing what happens when a measurement is actually performed. When the choice is made, the universe selects an outcome based on probabilities. This causes collapse, where the wave function instantly changes from a broad superposition to a single, sharp state, resulting in information loss for all other possibilities. Wave function collapse represents a discontinuous change, unlike the smooth evolution described by the Schrödinger equation. Although debated, this sudden jump perfectly matches observed physical reality. What collapse means is that the system is now definitely in the measured eigenstate. If you measure it again immediately, you will get the same result with 100% certainty, and the history of the previous superposition is erased. The post-measurement state exhibits stability, remaining in that state unless further influenced. Measurement turns a probabilistic maybe into a repeatable fact, demonstrating repeatability. Part 5 delves into measurement complexity, exploring the limits of knowing multiple properties simultaneously. Sequential measurement shows that measuring property A collapses the state. Measuring property B immediately after might destroy the information gained about A. You cannot always know everything at once. Incompatible observables arise if two operators do not commute, meaning they lack common eigenstates. This mutual exclusion means determining one property creates a superposition in the other, leading to the uncertainty principle. The commutator, A, B, determines compatibility. A zero value means the observables are compatible. You can measure both precisely. A non-zero value indicates conflicting observables, like position and momentum. The uncertainty floor, denoted by Planck's constant h bar divided by 2, represents the minimum uncertainty product for conflicting properties. This is not a technological limit, but a fundamental law of nature. Expectation values deal with statistical prediction, the average result obtained when repeating a measurement on many identical systems. Quantum mechanics perfectly predicts this average, even if it can't predict a single event. Deviation and variance measure how spread out the possible results are around the average. If the variance is 0, the system is in an eigenstate and the result is certain. We now transition to Part 6, Philosophical Implications of the Measurement Postulate. The role of the observer is widely debated. What is an observer? Modern physics suggests that any interaction with a macroscopic system leads to decoherence, effectively causing the quantum system to measure itself into classical behavior. Albert Einstein famously expressed his discomfort with the probabilistic nature of the postulate, stating, "I cannot believe that God plays dice with the universe." Niels Bohr responded to the reality of the postulate with his famous rebuttal, "Einstein, don't tell God what to do." Here is a summary of the key takeaways from this video. The measurement logic dictates that the result is an eigenvalue, probabilities are given by the Born rule, and post-measurement, the state collapses into the corresponding eigenstate. Richard Feynman summarized the complexity of the subject by saying, "If you think you understand quantum mechanics, you don't understand quantum mechanics." Thank you for your attention while exploring the quantum frontier.